Hey guys, I know it's been a while since my last video. We haven't really played D&D much in the past year. Um, since my last video. Best I can do is give you a rundown on a character I made for one of my friends who is actually in the game I'm DMing. He's running a game, which I might do for video later on. But today I figured I could do a thing I saw on a Mark Humes video. Check him out. He runs the High Rollers D&D campaign on, I believe, just youtube.com/highrollersdnd now. And he did the D&D personal quiz, where you're supposed to do, like, when you get a like on Twitter, you answer one question, things like that. I'm not that popular on Twitter, so I'd probably get like 2 likes. So what I'm going to do is I will link to it in the description of this, because I'm recording this on my phone, so I don't really have a way to pop it up on the screen right now. Do it yourself if you want, but I figured I'd just give you the rundown on the 20 questions it gives me, and then we can do it from there. Okay, so let's do this. Question the first. If you were a D&D character, what race and class would you be? Well, I've done a few self-inserts, and for most of them, we agree that my race, or my class, sorry, would be monk, because I am a 3rd degree black belt in Taekwondo. I do like getting in fights. I'm an instigator. The only other one I could really see myself being is a paladin. As for race, probably just human. I'm not really sure. I could see an argument for like half elf or Goliath, since I'm fairly tall, but probably just human. Question the second. When and how did you first discover D&D? When did you start playing? I actually think I started playing before I even knew I was. I would kind of roleplay with my friends that we were like knights and stuff like that, but I feel like that's just something a bunch of kids do anyways. Officially would be the D&D cartoon from the 80s, I believe. After that, wasn't until like high school that I discovered it, so, excuse me, 2005-ish, around there, and started playing shortly afterwards. 3.5. First character was a elf ranger. Was your question the third? Sorry. What is your favorite race, class, subclass to play? I will sum this all up in one fell swoop. Favorite race, class, subclass to play is, yeah, probably just human battle master fighter. It's just really fun. I really like the versatility, either in being able to up all their stats or 2 stats and a feat if you're playing with them. Fighter's just a risk for me, always has been, even in 3.5 when it was essentially just I hit it with my sword. I hit it with my sword again. And then Battlemaster is really the closest thing there is right now to what the Warlord class was in 4th edition, which was my favorite class in 4th edition. So probably that. Fourth question. If you could improve any stat IRL or 2 stats half as much, which would you choose and why? Part of me wants to say Constitution. I have bad health, and it'd probably help with my asthma. But probably we'll go +1 to Wisdom, +1 to Constitution. I feel like I forget a bunch of stuff, and adding to my Constitution probably would be helpful too. Sorry if you can hear the meowing. My cat is deciding now is the appropriate time to talk. Anyways, on to the 5th question. In 3 sentences or less, what is my most epic moment from a game? Most epic moment. Let's see if I can keep it to 3 sentences. During a self-insert where I was a half-elf ranger, we were fighting an army of demons trying to protect a flying gnomish city about to launch. But we were killing them so effectively the GM had to Deus Ex Machina the gnomes being done with preparations to keep us from leveling up too many times from killing all the demons. Question. Have any of your characters died in a game? If so, how? I'm not actually sure if... In like a regular game, no. Me and my friends have a what we call Crazy Town style campaign, where basically the point is to see how far you can get in before you die. But I don't know if that would really be considered, because it's basically saying there's not a chance you're going to live past a certain point, so you might as well just see if you can, how far you can get. I don't actually think any of my characters have died, other than in that, like, that kind of campaign, because we'll either like forget about it and start a new campaign, and we'll lose all the character sheets and we can't play anymore, or we'll just get tired of something. But yeah. Seventh question. If you could learn any one cantrip IRL, which would you choose and why? This is a very easy one for me. I love theater. I love acting. I love being dramatic. I would use prestidigitation. Being able to make my voice thunderous at claps. Claps is the word I was searching for there. Claps of thunder, making shutters fly open and close. That'd be really awesome. 8. Take a high or low score and why? Probably wisdom for low, because I don't find myself playing clerics or classes that rely on it too much. And then high intuition, unless there's something I really need another stat for. Just because AC and health is generally fairly nice. 9th question. Do you have a favorite dice set or a particular favorite die? Post a photo. I do. I love all of my dice equally. They're all my children, except for the ones that roll really crappy and they get destroyed. No, I just don't have a particular set of dice that I really like. I'm a dice hoarder in the sense of I have a lot of dice, not in the sense of these are my favorite, we'll always use them for this. On to the next one. 10th question. How would you explain D&D to someone who knows nothing? The way I explained it to my sister-in-law was, because she was playing Diablo, it's kind of like Diablo, except your character's on a piece of paper, and I make up all the dungeons you run through. And that was really the easiest explanation I could give her. If I had to... wants to say I'd do the same one as a storytelling game, but at the same time I kind of agree with what Adam Kobil said, if I remember correctly. I think I remember him saying that he doesn't agree with that statement, because it's less storytelling, more here's an adventure, doing it, you're doing things. Neither of us are trying to actively tell a story most of the time, but somewhere in between those two. The question is, do you read, watch, listen to any D&D content online, and is there others? Oh boy. Okay, so Mark Humes, obviously, is DM for the High Rollers campaign, which is really awesome. Critical Role, Matt Mercer and his DM tips that turned into Satine Phoenix's GM tips. Coville and his Running the Game Campaign Diaries series. Oh boy. I've watched a little bit of The Adventure Zone. I watched Penny Arcades when it first came out, up to like last year's. I watched a bunch of theirs. I watched C-Team. I've also listened to a friend of mine from Texas used to live whole bunch. Recommend literally anything you can get your hand on, especially if you're new to the hobby, because I know it'll seem really like out there and you won't understand what's going on at first. Excuse me. But some of them, it's really, really fun to watch, at the very least. And then there's a few of them, like Matt Coville is Running the Game series, and How to Be a Better GM is another one I watch. They're really informative and they really help out. 12th question. If you could take any one feat IRL, which would you choose and why? I'm going to cheat and pick a feat from 3rd edition, because it's my favorite feat ever. Because I just like the utility of it in game, and being able to pick up a weapon or something I wouldn't normally be able to wield, uh, and wield it as easily as I would like a baseball bat would be awesome. Like, just imagine picking up a log, like a 5-foot log, and just swing it around like you would a baseball bat. That'd be great. 13th level. 13th question, sorry. It's a level chart. If you could choose any one spell to be cast once per day in real life, which would you choose and why? I'm not actually sure on this one. I didn't think about this. Let's see. Fireball would be fun, just to mess up stuff. But honestly, Teleportation Circle is, you have to cast it once a day to make it permanent, and being able to just walk teleport somewhere else on this plane of existence would be awesome. 14th question. 3 sentences or less, what's your most epic fail from a game? The only fail I can really think of is I rolled like 3 ones in a row, which is ridiculously unlikely, I know, but it happened. There was another time where I was rolling up stats for a character, and the house rule we have is if you roll a 3, regardless of what your other stats that you could use there might be, if you roll 4 ones, you have to take that 3 in a stat. Most annoying thing that's ever happened to a character on a kind of branch off there is I had a ranger in my first campaign. I was the ranger. I got a Ring of 3 Wishes twice, and the first time it got stolen from me by our GM's dad, who said his character always wanted one. Like, I got it, his dad joined for 1 session, stole my Ring of 3 Wishes, and then left. And then the second time I got one, 2 of these stones got ripped out by a Balor and a Pit Fiend. And then the last stone that was still in the ring got eaten by a Hellhound. I got the ring out. Very violently, but I did get it out. But yeah, that was the most annoying thing. 15th question. Have you ever played with or created any homebrew content? I've made some, but it hasn't really been played with. Like, I made a Barbarian Path, but I play with a whole bunch. Like, I know the next campaign I'm running is going to have Matt Colville's Strongholds and Followers in it. I've played using the Blood Hunter that Matt Mercer made. On to the 16th question. If you could cash once IRL, what would you wish for? Well, I would wish for an ability to be increased by 2. Because I don't know how the DM of my life would screw with any wish otherwise. And the other option is I get to cast a 8th level or lower spell. And I don't feel like using my 9th level spell my only 9th level spell I will ever get to cast a lower level spell would be sufficient. So I'd just be like, raise my strength by 2. I don't know. I'm sorry, that was the 17th question. 16th question, which I will do now, is do you usually prefer to take ASIs, or ability score increases, or feats as you level up? I have not actually played that much 5th edition, but in what I've played, generally just ASIs. Because not a lot of the feats appeal to me, to be honest. And I just like having all 20s, or as close to it as I can. Just because it's nice to have that big buffer on any rolls I need to make. Okay, on to 18th question. What's your favorite legendary or artifact item? Probably the Axe of the Dwarven Lords, just because it's so interesting and it has so many different tables you can play on. 19th question. If you could play a one-shot with anybody in the world, who would you play with and who would DM? This is going to sound really contrived coming from a fan of their shows, but I feel like I would want to play with Matt Mercer, Matt Colville, Chris Perkins, Mark Humes, and the man from How to Be a Better GM, whose name I forget, and then the 2 guys from web DM Jim and Pruitt, and I would DM. Just because I think it'd be fun to watch them all interact in the world I've made, especially since it's not like, from what I've seen, it's not like any of the worlds that they play in, and it'd be really fun to watch them play together. 20th question. We have reached max question level. If you were a god in a D&D universe, what would your domain be? Well, there's not a domain of kittens, so I'm going to go with nature more than likely. I just really like it. It's really fun. I've always been drawn to nature, storms and stuff like that. And it also means that I kind of get to rule over animals, which would be really dope. Alright, that's it. Like I said, I will try to link in the doobly-doo down below to the thing so you can do it on your own if you want to on Twitter. Or make a video like this. Because I actually kind of like this form better. But yeah. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.